Let's continue with organic constituents in water. So usually we use a word called plankton to describe all the living organisms in water, and they are the origin of, say, the main origin of organic constituents in water. For example, algal plant, they provide chlorophyll A. Animal organisms, okay, organisms, and bacteria and lower plant forms such as algal fungi, etc. Together, these living things, they are the main source of different types of organic constituents in water. And the most important organic constituent is chlorophyll A, because it is an indicator of the cleanness of water. We do not want so much chlorophyll A in water, in clean water bodies. And you can say here is a figure showing you the reflectance curve of clean water, which is a thinner curve here, and algae-laden water, right? You can see there is a huge difference between these two curves in terms of the shape, because algae-laden water is seriously, dramatically affected by the reflectance characteristics of vegetation. We can see this absorption of blue light between 400 and 500 nanometer. Okay, here the absorption. And another strong chlorophyll A absorption of red light at approximately 675 nanometer. Here is another reflectance value here. And after that, we have this peak of reflectance, just like what we saw for the reflectance spectra of vegetation, because this water body is affected seriously by algae. And you can see that as the concentration of chlorophyll A increases from 0 to maybe 100, 200 until 500 micrograms per liter, the shape of the curve changes a lot. And when there is too much chlorophyll A in the water, we see that this water body is affected by something called eutrophication effect. It means that the nutrition in the water body is simply too high, which leads to the crazy growing of algae. And that's not a good thing we want to say in clean water body, because algae will just consume all the oxygen in the water, and also it releases toxic matter into the water. As a result, nobody can live, fish or other animals, they cannot live in the water, and eventually algae will die. So after that, usually after eutrophication effect, after an algae boom in a lake, you will see a dead lake. It's stinky, right? And full of bodies of animals and vegetation itself, and nobody can live there. So chlorophyll A concentration is a very important indicator of water pollution. Okay, so numerous studies have documented a relationship between selected spectral bands and ocean chlorophyll concentration, not only ocean, but also inland water bodies. It means that we cannot directly use remote sensors to measure the chlorophyll A concentration. Instead of that, we establish empirical models between chlorophyll A concentration and the reflectance of selected spectral bands. And we use these empirical or regression models to predict or estimate chlorophyll A concentration based on the reflectance of selected bands. In other words, these empirical models, they are not universal, right? When you are changing your research object from one water body to another, you have to establish new models for the new research object. Okay, so the most important CVIFS algorithm, CVIFS is a satellite project for ocean monitoring. Involves the use of band ratios of 443 and 355 nanometer, and the ratio between 490 and 555 nanometer to address chlorophyll A concentration. And here is the image for the globe. Um, it's for global chlorophyll A concentration. The unit is gram per cubic meter, derived from CVIFS imagery, okay, obtained from a range of time, September 3 to December 31st of 1997. So the legend is here, if the color is in purple, in blue, then we say the chlorophyll A concentration is very low. On the other hand, if it is orange or even red, it means that the chlorophyll A concentration is very high. So let me ask you, is there a specific pattern for the spatial distribution of chlorophyll A? You can say that for oceans, for big oceans, the chlorophyll A concentration is very low. They're in purple. But where are all those hot spots for chlorophyll A, which means locations with very high concentration? They are along coastlines. Say here is a very high concentration of chlorophyll A. Similarly, around the coast of China, right? And here, another hot spot here, and also along the coast of United States, and even the Great Lake area. Lake Michigan is fine. I'm not sure about the name of this lake, but yeah, you can say it's red. And the coast along Alaska here, right? You can say there are red and orange area. It is very obvious that human activity has dramatic impact on the chlorophyll A concentration around the world in the water body, because what we discharge into the ocean, into the river, into the lake, is very bad for natural environment. Okay, this matters, these materials or these constituents we discharge into the water body, they have very high concentration, which leads to the crazy growing of algae. Okay. And another example here, a true color CVIFS image of the eastern US on September 13th, 1997. So Florida, east coast of United States, and clouds. And this is the image thematic map for the same area on the topic of chlorophyll A. Say along the coast, we can say the high concentration of chlorophyll A, especially here, New England area, I suppose, with a lot of factories, with big cities, with huge population distributed, right? And also along the coast of Florida. So the next part of organic material or organic constituents is color dissolved organic material, CDOM, or yellow matter. Okay, so dissolved organic materials generated by phytoplankton often have a yellow appearance. That's why it's called yellow matter, and represent an important colorant agent in the water column. So again, you can guess it's not something we welcome in clean water. Okay, the brownish yellow color of the water in many rivers in the northern United States is due to the high concentrations of tannin from the eastern hemlock. Okay, so yellow matter. And next, I'm going to talk about water temperature retrieval. Okay, but I'll just stop here and leave it for the next video. Thank you.